All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of The Next Big Rush. I am here today with Thomas Lam, CEO of Myriad Uranium, a sponsor of our channel, and I'm super excited to finally be able to sit down with him and ask him all the questions that you guys have been sending me about Myriad Uranium in Niger. Welcome, Thomas. Please tell me about Myriad Uranium.
Hi, Fabi. It's great to be here, and yeah, I'd be happy to. So, Myriad Uranium is a new uranium junior explorer. It's listed on the CSE. The symbol is M. We acquired just over 1,800 square kilometers of prime uranium exploration licenses in Niger a few months ago. We have a 100% option over these licenses. We're just out of the gate here. This is it's very exciting times for us. We have about 25 million, just under 25 million shares outstanding. Market cap is around 5 million. And, you are our first interview. We are just revealing ourselves to the world. So it's a very exciting time for us. Yeah.
Very cool. And so tell me a little bit more about the land package that you have, because I've been looking at some maps and it seems like you're very close to a few projects that uranium folks are very familiar with. So could you tell us
Yeah,
about those, please?
I want to. We're very lucky. There are a number of uranium juniors out there that have greenfield land packages. We are not one of those. So Myriad Uranium has 4 licenses in the Tim Mersoï Basin, Niger. In aggregate, they're just over 1,800 square kilometers. So the Tim Mersoï Basin contains all of Niger's important uranium deposits. Niger is the world's 6th largest producer of uranium. It could be as high as the 2nd largest producer soon. We can talk about that and the reasons why. Very interesting. So we have 4 licenses: Agabut, Afode, Taje 2, and Taje 3. Agabut in the north is right up against Imouraren. That is Oranos Imouraren. That's Africa's largest uranium deposit at 380 million pounds. There's a fault that runs north-south through the Tim Mersoï Basin and controls mineralization. It's tabular sandstone, but fault controlled in the basin. Imouraren lies on that fault. Agabut, our license, is just above it, where 2 faults merge: Arlet, the Arlet fault, and the Madawela fault, which actually leads to just a few kilometers north east, Gobiex's Madawela project, that your viewers might be familiar with. They converge within our Agabut project. I'll tell you more about Agabut soon. You go a little bit further south, you are at our Afode project. Arlet fault goes through our Afode project and actually meets the Daji fault. Again, within our project, you go 30 kilometers to the east. You also along the Daji fault, you are at Global Atomics' Dasa discovery, which is, of course, Africa's highest grade development project, and also enormous 250 million pounds of uranium, depending on how you want to measure it. So that is our Afode project. A bit further south, also along the Arlet fault, Tajes 2 and 3. Taje 2, Taje 3 are 2 other licenses. So together it's 4 licenses, 1,822 square kilometers. And all of our licenses are either adjacent to or very near and on the same faults as major uranium deposits in the Tim Mersoï Basin. We're extremely fortunate. We are a uranium junior that is brand new. Not very many people know about us yet, but yet we have this really amazing land package in one of the great uranium basins in the world. So we're very excited. This is just the beginning. Very happy to be telling you about it. Yeah.
Cool. And can you tell us, please, about how you guys got a hold of these licenses? Because they were previously Oranos, I believe. And it begs the question, how come a small junior that has recently signed this on, has been able to get such not just a large, but a high quality land package close to, all the interesting places in Niger?
Sure. The answer is there's different dimensions to and layers to the answer. One thing that your viewers should know, if they don't already, is that all of the areas within the Tim Mersoï Basin were Orano or Riva or Kojima areas. Going back decades, they had the whole area, so the whole basin. So all the there's a big Chinese mine that's being operated there. There's Global Atomics Dasa, which is starting production, GoVX, and several other discoveries. All of those were made on former Orano, Ariba, Kojima licenses. So and all of them saw regional scale exploration by Orano and its predecessors. So this is how it works, or in Niger, in the Tim Mersoï Basin. Now, it's a great question. Why did Orano step away from its exploration licenses? Well, actually, they stepped away from virtually all of them in the Tim Mersoï. This is after, in particular, after Fukushima, and I guess that was 2010. So, in particular, after Fukushima, Orano made a decision to step away from its exploration and focus on Imouraren. Again, Imouraren, Africa's largest uranium deposit of 380 million pounds. Orano decided, well, they have at least 50 years of reserves, probably many more in Tim Mersoï. Uranium prices were low. They went down to $19. Some other factors, they decided, what, we've got all these reserves. We have our mill. We have operating mines. Let's leave exploration to others. Plus, there's holding costs. You have to expend political capital to retain exploration licenses and not explore them in a low uranium price environment. And uranium was out of favor. This is about 6, 7, 8 years ago. So they relinquished their exploration licenses, or many of them. We were very lucky. Our local partners, Loxcroft, stepped in. They're very well connected group in Niger, long experience working in uranium with government, logistics, etc. So they're ideally placed. They were ideally placed. They stepped in, acquired these licenses, and then we, in turn, as a company, got lucky to connect with them through our strong network we have. Pete Smith, former CEO, went to Cambridge University in the UK, and through some connections there, we made this deal. Yeah.
Very good.
So Foxcroft, our local partner, by the way, I just should mention, we're very fortunate to be working with them, number one, as our local partner, but they're also our biggest shareholder. Part of the deal is that they have 8.5 million shares of our company. And they trickle out over 3 years, just so, it's sort of an important point. So our interests are completely aligned. They want to see us succeed.
Very good.
So that's how we have the licenses. Yeah, there's more to it, but these are the broad points.
It's definitely good to know that there are people with large shareholding in the company that need to be and are aligned with the company's goals and with general shareholder. The next natural point I'd like to explore with you, Tom, is the information that we have regarding this land package. What kind of work has been done to them, and what are you guys working on now?
Yeah, this is part of what's exciting about this. So we have this great land package. Our licenses sit at the intersections of these faults, which control mineralization, and they have seen these areas have seen a lot of historic regional scale exploration, including drilling by Orano and its predecessors. We have that data, or a lot of it. This is millions and millions of dollars of spend on the part of Orano and its predecessors, and our license areas. We have a lot of that data, and not only do we have the data, in a lot of cases, we have their plans to do focused exploration in key areas that are particularly exciting. So, we are really ahead of the game here. We have the licenses, we have historic data, we have some of the Orano plans, some very interesting ones, and so our next steps are going to lever off of the fact that we have the data and those plans. With Global Atomics Dasa discovery, which is kind of a new paradigm, high grade, super high grade, outside of Athabasca, which is quite unexpected. I'll just mention as an aside, I think your viewers would know, but in the past few months, Global Atomics announced really exciting exploration grades there, above 13% uranium, over 0.7 meters, and I think it's in 40 something, maybe 46 meters of, was it 3% uranium?
I don't remember how thick it was, but it was the grades were 3 and above, and yes, we
very exciting.
Just as shocked as you.
Yeah, amazing stuff, and I mean this is really interesting. So we have our licenses, key areas, the Orano data, which we've done an initial analysis of the data. We have some of their plans to intensify, for more intense and focused exploration, and then we have the insights now from this new, out of left field, high grade discovery that Global Atomic has made. And what they've done is they've gone a bit deeper. There's to some deeper strata and they've, the big insight is that the higher grade may lie at deeper strata. So, we can combine what in fact, we're learning some things on our own too, but we have Orano's data, we have some of their plans, we have the new insights from Global Atomic, and we have our own insights that we're generating, plus our phase 1, phase 2 exploration plans that are near term. We're going to combine all that, and then the idea is, of course, to make hopefully multiple really big and high grade discoveries in Tim Mersoï. We have a chance to do this. We have all of these things together, and with the technical team we have, we're very optimistic actually.
That's
So
very exciting. So let's
it's
get into
extremely
the
exciting.
team. Yeah, let's get into the team. Who do you have on your team to push this thing
Sure.
forward?
So we have our board of directors and our technical committee. So on the board, myself, I'm, as the CEO, I am a former lawyer and a finance person, and I've worked in Africa, either co-founding, running exploration companies for probably 15 years at least. I have lots of experience all over the world in junior exploration. So that's me on the board. We also have Fred Bonner. He is a Canadian geologist, a senior Canadian geologist. We're very lucky to have him. Guy Pinsent, he's a Europe-based businessman, not mining focused, but he's a very successful, highly regarded businessman and financier. And then, very importantly, we have the two, Loxcroft, by the way, is the name of the local company in Niger that we're partnered with. Their board appointees, we've really hit it out of the park with them. Dai Kaba and Cyril Amadi. Dai Kaba was a partner at McCarthy Tétrault in Toronto, and he's a senior lawyer, now based in West Africa, very well known in the mining world as a top-notch lawyer with a ton of experience and insight. And then Cyril Amadi was an engineer and an MBA and a long and successful banking background, and he's worked with big companies, exciting projects, Endeavor Financial, other big groups, and we've really sort of got lucky with our board of directors. And of course, we're going to be adding to it as needed as we go. Technical committee. The leader of our technical committee and our chief geologist is George van der Walt. He's a South African. He works with the MSA group. George himself led the Karuma project in South Africa. That was a really big exploration development stage uranium project with over 13,000 boreholes, for example. Massive project. And he is a true uranium expert. He has a wide variety of experience, lots of Africa experience. We've been very lucky. And he's also a pleasure to work with. Second key member of our technical committee is David Miller. He's a very well-known person. Maybe your viewers might even know who he is, some of them. So he's out of Wyoming. He started his career in uranium decades ago with Utah International, which became Areva. He was later CEO of Strathmore and has had quite an illustrious uranium career in the uranium space. A well-known politician, well-known media personality on all the news networks, etc. And he is one of the world's leading experts in ISL, ISR, in situ recovery. This is very relevant, well, around the world, but in the Tim Mersoï Basin. You may know that Imouraren, again, just next to us, is engaged in a feasibility study for in situ part of its Imouraren deposit. And Orano is conducting a feasibility study over part of its Imouraren deposit, see if it's amenable to in situ. So we have this great technical committee. Those are our two appointees. Loxcroft, our partners, will be appointing additional members, and we're already looking at some really good people.
Very good. So what is it like to work in Niger? You mentioned that you have Africa-based experience. How does that compare to so far? I know you've only been CEO for a couple of months, but so far, what is your feeling?
Well, I was in Niger a few months ago. I've been talking to lots of people and learning as much as I can. And I'll just mention I was there. I met the Prime Minister, Minister of Mines, lots of senior people who work in the mining sector there. So it is. I am really pleased and optimistic and confident about Niger. I know the region has issues that are well known in the environs, Mali, Chad, etc., Burkina Faso. But I think Niger, a lot of everybody involved, governments, investors, I guess foreign powers that want, everybody's working together to ensure that Niger is an island of stability and a good place to, do business and especially explore for uranium and everything. Doing business there so far is really good. It is full of experienced and highly competent uranium geologists, miners, geophysicists, etc. Plus, it's got, my initial take is that it has this next generation of technocrats who have come up and they want to see Niger succeed and attract foreign capital. And this was emphasized especially by the Minister of Mines. She talked a lot about attracting juniors. So it already is a place full of experts, a long history of uranium mining. Everybody's committed to keeping it stable and a good place to work. Plus, you have this sort of new group that has come up now with the inevitably next generation that really wants to attract foreign investors, and they want to create that environment. So, a bit of a roundabout way to answer your question. It's good, and it gives me a feeling of optimism. A little bit different than East Africa, where I've spent a lot of my time. Here in Niger, there's a long history of uranium exploration, development, and mining. Lots of experts, and people are committed to the sector there. You can feel it. I also, I'm a big fan of Niamey, the capital. It gives you this, it's kind of a feeling like this country sort of is on the move, and it has an exciting future. So that's how I feel.
Interesting. It's good to hear about that. Regarding Myriad, regarding all of our other investments in Niger for sure.
Good,
Uh,
yeah. I would be
let
optimistic. Yeah.
you kind of planted a seed in my head here, and I just got to scratch that itch. You mentioned that Niger is the current sixth producer of uranium, but
Yeah.
could potentially be second. That's a big statement. What makes you think that it could be second?
Well, I've been reading about it, I suppose, and this is because Niger has a big endowment of uranium, and if Orano has plans to develop as a mine plan for Imouraren. Imouraren could turn into a mine and produce, and again, it's Africa's largest uranium deposit. Global Atomic is now just starting to produce its high-grade mine. There are other uranium deposits in Niger. There's GoviX's Mandawela project, and others. You have the Chinese project at Azalik that is, I'm not exactly sure how much they're producing at the moment. If you add those up, and if they get started within a few years, they ramp up to their potential, then I think we'll be right up close to Kazakhstan. Well, anyway, probably a little bit behind Kazakhstan,
But up there anyway. Yeah,
that's
it's impressive. I had no idea that Imouraren was such a large deposit until you guys came along and educated me
is that
about,
right?
the 380 million pounds of uranium. Most people, I think, are unaware of that because
Yeah,
it's not held by a publicly trading company. And so, that's kind
exactly.
of out of the our radar area, I guess. Right. So, I guess my next question, Thomas, is what is the sort of the next step? You guys have some data that you're working on, that you've inherited from Orano. What can shareholders, new shareholders, people that are joining now expect in the next 3 to 6 months?
So I'll just mention that the trove of data is pretty vast, and it's given us a lot of insights. It included 161 data from 161, at least 161 boreholes. We've not been able to convert that to grade exactly because there are conversion factors, et cetera. But what we can say is that about 25% of those intersected interesting, what is undoubtedly interesting uranium. And they cluster, and they are in areas that, in many cases, relate to faulting that we think is relevant. So over the next few months, we're going to continue our, we call it interrogation of the data. We've completed our initial review of it. So we are going to complete a mapping process. We're going back to the field to confirm some readings that we have on some of our maps. We're also going to go down historic boreholes and with our own instruments and confirm readings in some of those select ones. So we are considering, depending on geophysics, which we're reviewing right now, we may do a high resolution mag survey over some or maybe quite a lot of our acreage. and then we have to come up with maps of our faults so that we can pick drill collars and probably do some drilling alongside all these other steps that I mentioned. Just preliminary, so that we get an understanding of the subsurface. That's better insights into the subsurface.
Okay.
Beyond that is drilling.
Mhm.
You know,
Very cool.
so
And that's when the excitement really begins, right?
absolutely. So I mean, we have 5 or 6 target areas that we are going to focus on, and we're going to deploy resources and time and energy, and investigate those and see what the insights are. And then hopefully we have discovery drilling and in due course after that resource delineation, et cetera. We're optimistic. This is an exciting area, especially now that we have the insights from Global Atomic's Dasa project and other things that are happening in the basin. This place could become very exciting. We hope to be part of that.
So what's the financial situation of the company? Are you guys looking to raise soon? Are you looking to raise right now, or do you have enough of a runway to wait a little bit?
So our burn is very low at the moment. We have just under $900,000 in the bank. That's Canadian at the moment. Yeah, but we will be raising in the near future. We'll have details on that sometime very soon. So we're going to raise some more money for our next phases, and then put ourselves in a really strong position to, for the bigger raises to come that are necessary to do discovery drilling and beyond.
That is very cool. I am certainly very excited about Myriad Uranium. Yes, I am biased. However, this is the kind of play that I look for. Nano cap, very small market cap, insane value creation and potential, not completely greenfield, as mentioned before, and with very tight hands, right? The people who founded the company, who have most of the shares, aren't looking to get rid of them anytime soon. And in fact, they can't because they're on escrow, which
Well,
is always great.
exactly. I mean, maybe I'll just recap a few things regarding the cap
Yes,
structure,
please.
et cetera. So again, $5 million market cap, approximately 20 cents. It doesn't trade very much at the moment because it's owned mostly by, for example, local group Loxcroft, and then founders of the company and management. We're all in this to make discoveries and massive multiples. So that is the situation with the stock. It is a really, if people can get some shares, I think potential is there to do really well. Once we tell our story, I think we will get re-rated. We have comps, for example, ENRG, which is also in Niger. That's an ASX-listed company. It has a $27 million Aussie market cap. They have about 750. Don't hold me to this, but 750 square kilometers in Niger. We have 1,822 square kilometers, and we have all this data. I mean, they have attributes that are exciting, of course, but there are other comps too. That tell me that we should get a re-rating once the world understands what we have and who's involved. So that's a bit about some other key things about the company that I'd like people to understand. And of course, uranium. The price of uranium has potentially exciting, really exciting future. That's going to there'll be leverage.
Yes, for sure. And we're very excited about the potential for uranium, especially this year. Fingers crossed. People who follow this channel, we could talk for hours just on
Oh yeah,
the possibility and where that might be going. But thank you,
sure.
Thomas, so much for coming on and telling us the story of Myriad Uranium. Last word is, where can people find out more about Myriad Uranium?
Okay, yes. So our website is myriaduranium.com. Go there, and of course, you can always get our filings on CDAR, et cetera. Myriaduranium.com is the place to look. Our symbol is M on the CSE, and I'll just note that we will be listed on the OTC and on the Frankfurt Exchange in due course. This is all happening step by step.
Really?
We're brand new. We've only been we're just out of the gate a few months ago, so all these things are going to be happening here.
Cool. I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much. And I hope to be speaking to you very soon with more and more news from Myriad Uranium. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Fabi. Thanks a lot, everybody.